Hello, my beautiful friends. Oh my goodness. I want to introduce this amazing woman to you who it's really wild because I've known her for about a decade now. She's as gorgeous can be. The amazing Susan Bratton. I'll just do a little bit of her bio here and then into my heart bio. Trusted hot sex advisor to millions. Susan Bratton is the Dear Abby of sex. And she helps people have more intimacy. Hello, that's why she's here. And pleasure through her passionate lovemaking techniques and bedroom communication skills and sexual health and vitality with all of her recommendations. We have some really delicious goodies for you today. But Susan, I wanted to just start off because I've known you for a long time. I'm even living closer to you now. I live in northern San Diego, and yet I don't know you. We haven't drank together. We haven't really had this sisterly conversation. And so I think it's actually kind of interesting. Intimate conversations is where we really first start to get to know each other. And I'm so grateful you're on the show. And we were just, powwowing before the interview started. Both of us in the realm of, sexual health tend to flush up not health in the different people that we are interviewed by. And so we are so excited to show you a different window, a different energy, a different blossoming of what's really rich and delicious and possible in your sexual lives today. So without further ado, how the hell did this path unfold for you, sister? Was it what you wanted to be as a little girl? How did it all unfold?
I've always desired hot sex.
Uh-huh.
I always wanted to have incredible lovers.
Yeah.
And it felt elusive to me most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I often had this almost paranoid feeling oh, maybe they're all lying. Maybe it's just bullshit. Maybe it's not real. Maybe people are faking it. Maybe there isn't this way to have soul connection, total surrender to pleasure, complete ease and comfort, desire that gets more and more as you're together, that grows over time. Maybe one orgasm's enough. Maybe these things aren't real. Maybe all women can't really experience the release of female ejaculation. Everything. I just wasn't sure if it was real.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an orgasm from penetration until I was 45.
Wow.
It took me a long time. I was orgasmic, but not multi-orgasmic. I was orgasmic with a lot of effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at one point in my life, in my mid to late 30s and early 40s, I nearly abandoned my sex life in my frustration for it not being what I wanted. And I said, I can't give up on this. I can't give up on my partner. I married him because our sex life was actually the best of anybody I'd ever been with. I chose my husband in large part because of our physical and sensual compatibility that waned over the decade of our first decade of marriage. We've been together 27 years now. And I said,
wow,
let's try to fix it. Let's try to find our way. What don't we know? We're smart people.
Yeah.
We love each other. We're great together. What are we missing here? It's so easy for guys in comparison, although they have their hardships too, and there are many. And I'd say my expertise is helping men understand how to unlock a woman's sexual potential and lead her with his masculine sexual leadership to her point of surrendered pleasure.
Nice.
I'm very good with men. They're easier for me than women are. Women, they get mired in their head, and men are just tell me what to do,
right.
Which is so easy for me. And so we said, all right, well, let's see if we can figure it out ourselves instead of giving up our marriage. And so we did a lot of sex workshops around a little bit before I met you over a decade ago. Probably about 15 years ago now. My husband and I, we did everything from walking on fire at Tony Robbins to, going to tantric lovemaking workshops, learning orgasmic meditation, learning female ejaculation, all these things. And we realized, this is just learned skills. Anybody can do this. All you need to know is what to do. Everything is available to everyone if someone just tells them what to do. And I said, this is what I want to devote the rest of my life to. I was an extremely successful Silicon Valley executive.
Wow.
And I said, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. I want to start a company where I can take all this information,
Yeah.
all these skills, techniques, processes, whatever they might be, this understanding, little profound things, little techniques that like really make a major impact and are so easy. They're almost like a duh. But nobody ever told you. That's what I want to stand for. I want to be the champion and advocate for all people who want more passionate lovemaking, who know that the way people have sex and pornography is degrading to women.
Yeah.
The way that women feel about their body issues can be overcome.
Yeah.
Learning how to connect the dots of your own orgasm are possible. And I want to give people these skills. And so my husband and I decided, because we just became so connected together again after learning these things, to start the company ourselves. And that's what you know of me. 12 years, we'll be heading into 13 years of personal life media. We've been publishing sex techniques for passionate lovemaking for now well over a decade. It's an extremely heart and soul healing.
Yes. I love this. You're just stop being so boring. You're so passionate. I'm just teasing. I love this. And here's something that I want you to explain to people, even though it's a technique, even though it's information anybody could learn. It's not two heads doing things. There's an embodiment and a heart connection and it just drizzles down into awakening every cell of our body. How does that happen when we start with just a technique in the mind that we learn and we watch? How does that actually translate into surrender?
Well, I think one of the ways I could answer that is through something familiar, which is conscious competence and conscious competence and unconscious competence.
Yeah.
And when you learn a new technique, you try it and you do it, and then you kind of learn it in your body, and over time it just becomes the way you do things. And so instead of doing it, you're just being it.
Yeah.
Transition to the being. And so you practice and you learn and you try and you get better. I am such an incredible lover now compared to what I was 5 years ago, compared to what I was 10 years ago, compared to what I was 15 years ago. The great thing about sex is that you keep getting better the more you do it. It's practice makes perfect. And the great thing about it is that if you're sitting there at 60 or even 70 or even 80 years old thinking, I want to have hotter sex. It's available to you because we are sexual our whole life long. If our health is good, our libido is good, our vitality and appetite are good. And if you've gone through shame, abuse, any kind of trauma that is emotional and physical, you can also recover from that to go on to have a whole, juicy, surrendered sex life. But how do you move into surrender? How do you move into that feeling that nothing else is going on but that moment of interplay with your lover?
Yeah.
That you're not thinking about what your body looks like. You're almost doing things like, you're kissing them like, you're just like, just spread eagle, having orgasm, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're just in that, you're riding the waves of energy and pleasure that you're generating between the two of you, the three of you, the four of you. It's possible to connect energetically with people when they connect energetically with you. And when you are being with that lover and you are clued into the sensations of pleasure that they're delivering, and you're getting out of, oh, it's not right, I know it doesn't feel good, and you're actually meeting that pleasure with your own body and saying, oh, wait, it feels good. Oh, now it's starting to really feel good. Oh yeah, this is great. I'm going to take this ride now. when you give your lover feedback in the moment, and I really want to talk about this, so let's parking lot this. I have a technique from my book, Sexual Soulmate, which is one of the gifts that I will give you today. It's called the Sexual Soulmate Pact. And what it does is it's this really great bedroom communication skill that I have to unpack for you a little bit.
Okay.
It's a pact, it's an agreement between lovers that allows your passionate lovemaking to ignite because you suddenly can give each other the feedback that it takes to do a really good job pleasuring each other. But it's less about what they're doing to you and more about how you're receiving it and how you're opening yourself to feeling pleasure from those sensations. Of course, if he's on your hair, you got to say, hey, you're pulling my hair. But you'd be amazed at exactly the same sensation delivered exactly the same way to exactly the same woman. And her mind state being, I'm going to thoroughly luxuriate in the pleasure that he's giving me and really love this ride versus, ooh, his hand's a little rough. I don't like what he's doing. I wish he would go lower. Like getting out of the judgment and getting into the allowing that to feel good.
Yeah.
This is a simple shift that works really well.
But it's a simple, profound shift for all of life.
Yeah.
Like we are creating our reality with our point of view.
Yeah,
and as feminine creatures who are so in our doing and handling all this stuff, to shift it into one, into openness, but two, into literally open to the pleasure. That's a whole other choice to make. I love this. I like to go outside in my garden and I could just go and, whatever, go to the car and that's that. Or I could go out and I could drink in the beauty of the garden. Like it's a choice. And so you're saying right in our lovemaking, no matter if he forgot to take out the trash, no matter if he didn't do it that way last time, we're still in charge of the way we receive the moment. And the very same thing could be a completely different experience. That makes me just think, there's so many more moments in the day of orgasm that I'm not allowing myself to have, Susan, whether he's around or not. How about you and I right now? Like everything could be. Okay, so tell us more about this choice to receive. And is it look for the pleasure or is it just receive the pleasure? Is it like a doing or a receiving? It's
the pleasure's there.
It's there. It's just there. It's just a choice.
So is your orgasm. It just wants to bubble up out of you. It doesn't need to be driven out of you, touched out of you, pushed out of you, pulled out of you, vibrated out of you. It doesn't need to be. It comes out of you. It's called coming because it comes out of you.
Oh, yes.
You can become so orgasmic that you have orgasms in yoga class, that you have orgasms thinking about your lover. You can be fully in and living in orgasm through just what you talked about, being open to pleasure. And one of the things that is really, really helpful as a female-bodied lover for a male-bodied lover is to really let that guy know that, and it can be a woman too, but let your lover know that you are really down for having a great time, that you're so excited to be in this moment that you've taken to share together, to feel good, to make each other feel good, to, receive and to give pleasure is exactly the same thing. It's just two sides of the same coin. When you're receiving pleasure, you're giving pleasure in the receiving and vice versa. And so that's another component that really helps you move toward more passion is, and this is something that men need to learn, is show more pleasure, feel more pleasure. Just don't spend all your time giving me pleasure, because then you put me in performance mode. Then it's about your ego instead of about our joy in the moment. Get out of your head and get into your body. And because if you can't do that, I can't do that.
Yeah, well said. Yeah.
There are a lot of agreements in hot sex that you lay in an understanding that allow you to go into places where you together can touch God.
Yes.
Can feel Gaia, can feel this spiritual, sensual, sexual, ecstatic connection together. If you can get out of your own way.
But this is beautiful. A lot of the work I do with private clients is that trauma release and the emotional release, etc. And then it's quiet, home and flat. And then there is this choice to receive this, like we're already calling out how it's going to be. It's done. That reality's already out there. But if we don't choose it and we don't open to it and we just wait around or we hope or we try or these kind of things, it's not going to work. I love what you're saying with this pact. Of course, the roots before the shoots, we have to do that.
Yeah, that's good. The roots before the shoots. I like that. You want to hear the pact?
Yeah, tell us more about the pact. Yeah, please.
Okay. So let me preface it with, let me grab my book. Hang on.
Sure.
Let me tell you what the 6 essentials of connected sex are. And I always like to make sure I have my list. I write so many copious notes on I've written thousands of articles on sexuality. And so literally it's just like,
I love it.
All right. So here are the 6 essentials for connected sex. These are the 6 things that really get you into a passionate, the ability to just let go of everything and be in that sensual moment and have really hot orgasms and super hot sex with a lover. Yes. The first one is presence. And that is that getting out of your mind, getting into your body, looking your lover in the eyes, really being there. Estrogen, we women, we have our eye on a lot of things and we have to stop thinking and let it all go and parking lot it during lovemaking.
Yeah.
The second one is lover space. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times, because men are testosterone dominant, they're very goal oriented. And that's why they want to give you so much pleasure, because then they know they've done a good job. They really want to win. And so they'll tend to just be able to throw you down on the bed and just enter you because they're ready. They think they're ready to go. Men need as much warm up time as women do. They just don't give it to themselves because of their testosterone. They're like, let's go. And
interesting.
So men need the same amount of engorgement, but, I don't know how you like it. You tell me. I'll tell you what I like, how I like my lover space to be set, and then you do yours, okay?
Okay.
So I like it about 76 degrees in the summer, 78 degrees in the winter in my bedroom. I like to cover my bed with a waterproof fitted sheet I got on Amazon. And then I like to put another really soft Donna Karan sheet on top of it, fitted, so that I don't have to worry about getting any lube, any ejaculate, anything on my bedclothes.
Yeah.
Then I like to have a lot of pillows because I like to prop myself up. I like to use them under my legs when I'm, when my husband's going down on me, whatever it might be. I like to really be comfortable.
Yes.
I like to have a pitcher of water, and I like these certain glasses that have a really thin crystal rim because I don't like fat glasses. I like thin little delicate glasses. So I have my glass. Okay. I have organic coconut oil. I have avocado oil. And that's what I use for lube because I don't like to use any chemicals on my yoni because I'd never put something here that I wouldn't put here. If I wouldn't drink it, I wouldn't put it on my yoni. It's one end of the same tube.
Totally.
I like music. It depends. Sometimes I like adult contemporary hard rock, really because I'm feeling really sexy and boss. And then other times I like spa music, dub, tempo, super sexy, slow. You almost don't even hear it kind of, so I pick my music. If it's cool at all, I have a fireplace in my bedroom that I turn on the wall. Poof, instant fire.
Lovely.
And I like lighting that is in the red orange frame. So I have these LED lights above my bookcases in my bedroom that make my room orange because I look really pretty in orange light. You can't see any cellulite at all in orange. Orange light is like the cellulite remover. So I like that. And then what are other things that are really important to me? Those are most of it. Sometimes I have toys. I just created a new G-Spot toy guide and I've been really getting into some of the G-Spot toys. So sometimes I have some toys and my vibrators all clean, set on a towel. Oh yes. And I have these towels. They're made by Missoni. I ordered one towel and I ordered 8 different towels from everything from Bloomingdale's to Saks to Neiman Marcus to Land's End. I ordered one towel of all these different towels and I threw them all in the wash. I tried them all for a couple months and I was like, Missoni, You win.
Oh.
Soft on one side. It's got like a little scrubby, a little bit more nap on the other side. It's great for wiping the lube off.
Yes.
I love to have a stack of black towels that I can just throw in the laundry when I'm done, when I pop off the sheet and the waterproof thing and throw it all in my big laundry basket for later. I like that. So you can see that I've thought about all the things that make me comfortable. And then I really like to be held. I really like to have full body massage. Sometimes I need my feet rubbed before I can even think about sex. Yes. I like to have a long make out first. I need a lot of like full body touch, a lot of it. And then I need a yoni massage before I make love. If I skip that step, my yoni gets a little chip on her shoulder. She's like, why did you have sex before you were fully fluffed up? You know better. Every time you do it, you get pissed. So why? My husband won't even make love to me until he plays with
he
my
knows better.
Gets it all fluffy because he's like, you're just going to get pissed. She's just going to get mad. And so
I can hear her.
She's like, no, I don't like it. I'm not going to have sex ever again. Like if all that stuff's not right, I am like fussy kitty. And so that is my lover
adorable.
Space. That's my lover space. This is what it takes to have sex with me. And it is so worth it. It's totally worth it.
And in the past, you did 1/10 of that, 1/2 of that.
I didn't even know about all that stuff.
You didn't even know about it. Yeah.
I just like laid down a towel, had some intercourse, and was like, why don't I like this?
Yeah. I'm loving. I am just, I'm right there. Okay. So mine, so I need to get the thingy on the bed because I'm always laying lots of towels down and then putting the sheets over.
Yeah,
so I think there's a more efficient.
Can't really let go.
Yeah. So big ejaculator. So I need lots of towels, but it is a little frumpy with all the towels. So you've inspired me deeply. Definitely has to be warm or I'm very cranky. So, and my lover's quite warm-blooded and I'm cool-blooded. So it's a lot hotter for him, but he just has to deal with it. Yes, my vibrators are there. My coconut oil is there. Music, because I'm like a pole dancer. Sometimes it's like my naughty, like hardcore girl. And other times I just need to cry. It's been a hard week and we need to cry for 20 minutes first. So we put the cry music on. And whenever it's like too bounce, shaka, bow, bow, and I'm like, I hate that. Like it's all like staged and it doesn't make me feel good. I don't know. So I've got whatever my different music. The cat just feels our energy and comes in. So we have to close the door so the cat doesn't bother us because she'll get right there in the center of the bed and just go like, this is awesome, you two. So she needs to be gone. Recently I've been really into my black stilettos. There's just something that I feel so beautiful. Yeah. So that's how, and if I dance for him and I put on my like boots and what have you, or the little tutu skirt with the G-string or whatever, like that really gets things going. Yeah. And yet the more I surrender, the more foreplay I need, the more touch. Don't go anywhere near my yoni, just touch my body. Yeah. It's almost like, again, the roots and the shoots, like the more I allow myself and the prep, the greater the connection. Yeah. And my yoni's kind of similar to yours. She says, I need your fingers of light. That's what she says. So and I literally feel, and he chooses to fill up my vagina with light. Nice. And I swear, I just start to ride this wave of light. And that's just what I require until I'm in this other zone. And then I'm ready to be penetrated. Yeah. And it's just, if we don't do those steps, I get cranky. I feel like a piece of meat. Yeah. I don't want to put out. So this is some similar, and I've learned you have to tell me what the sheets are called on Amazon.
I'll give you a link to my Amazon store. I've got all kinds of good, all my greats, all my highlights in there.
All right, good.
Yeah, so that's lover space. Now you've heard Allana and I both talk about what it takes to make love to us, and you're probably thinking to yourself, man, I'm like super simple compared to those two high maintenance girls, but I think I'm going to be more high maintenance now, and guys want to give you what you need because they
set them up to win.
Incredible time.
Yeah.
Their job is to get invited back inside. They don't want to screw it up. You just tell them what you need, which brings me to number 3, which is the sexual soulmate pact.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to throw it down here now. This is it. This is very, very important. This is the best thing I may ever tell you, although I've got a lot of good ones. Give me a chance to just lay down the bones here. You are an animal. I know you like to think that you are this big-brained, amazing person that's doing all these incredible things in the world, super creative, rocking it out, and you are, but you are also living in an envelope called Homo sapiens that is part of the animal kingdom. And you don't have a lot of control over her because there is an animal inside you. Sometimes she's a kitty and sometimes she's a tigress. And because she's hormonal in nature, because she is on circadian rhythms and biorhythms and moon cycles, and don't forget things like insulin for your blood sugar and cortisol for your stress levels. You are a dynamic, constantly changing little kitty.
Yeah.
And your sex will get really good when you begin to really honor the animal inside you. And when you give yourself space to be the animal. Animalistic sex is hot because you are just feeling and going for it. But if you don't honor your animal, you can't get to animalistic sex.
Yeah.
And when you have an agreement with your partner, and I'm going to go man-woman because I really want to show the polarity of the dynamic of the masculine and feminine here. If you are same-sex partner, it's still very, very, very similar and all good.
Yeah.
You want different things not only in different days, but in different moments during sex. You might start out feeling like, I'm rocking these black stripper shoes and I did a sexy dance and the music was really sexy. And then you might go, but wait a minute, I'm done with that. Now I want him to hold me and I want Buddha spa music on. Because now it's like, oh, no, I kind of got that out, but I really want to relax and just really drop in with my partner. I want to have something more soulful. Now I'm in the mood for soulful in the same lovemaking session.
Right.
And you might be in a moment of lovemaking where you're like, he's touching you really softly and you're liking it, but then you're like, no, I want you to grab the hair on the nape of my neck and I want you to hold me down. I want you to pin my hands over my head and I want you to kiss me fiercely. I just really want to be dominated and ravished right now. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
And when you are asking your partner, the pact, the agreement with your partner is this, and this is where you're going to be like, oh, now I know why you said we're going to take a man versus, a woman. And that is what you want is for your man, your masculine lover, the one holding the masculine place in the dynamic. You want him to want as much feedback as possible. And you don't ever want him to contract or to be like, sorry, or I know what I'm doing. Fuck you. You do not fucking know because I don't know. I hope I was able to say that. You don't know because I don't know because I'm an animal and I'm just telling you what she needs in the moment. Yep. And so you can literally break your partner from having a contraction around getting the information that they need to give you more pleasure in the next moment than the last moment.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit goes crazy. And here's how it works. This is how you get your guy to do that. Because remember, he's like, Mr. Testosterone. He's like, full speed ahead. He's like, I know what I'm doing. Testosterone makes guys think they know what they're doing. That's why they never ask for directions. They actually think they know. They actually think they know what they're doing when they don't have a freaking clue. Not one clue, not clue one. But testosterone makes them very sure that they know exactly what they're doing. So
Yes.
it's not actually even their fault. It's their animal run by
Yes.
testosterone that's
Yes.
like, I know what to do. So what you have to do is you have to be like, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because I don't know what she's going to want. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you, I'm reporting in from my animal. I'm just like, it's a kitty cat. Oh, it's a tigress. Here we go, daddy.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going to tell you, and you're going to be like, thank you. I've got it. Okay,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah, give me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. If he is eager for your feedback,
Yeah.
and every time you give it to him, he's like, got it, baby.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, here's a man that can roll with this animal I live in that I can't freaking control anyway. And he gets it. He gets me. Thank God.
Yes. Oh God, it feels so good.
And then you do, and then here's the frosting on the cake of the sexual soulmate pact. And that is, baby, I want to tell you everything. I really want to, because you give me so much pleasure. But I want to know if it would be okay with you if I never use my manners. Because every time I have to use my manners, if I have to be like, baby, could you please rub a little harder instead of harder?
Yeah.
Then I have to get out of my body and into my good girl brain. And
Totally.
I want to be in my good girl brain when we're making love. So would you be okay and just be totally cool with me just shouting it out and saying whatever I need? And would you always answer me, okay, baby, got it, baby, anything else? How's this? All right, good girl. Tell me more. Encourage me to tell you what I want. Because I don't know what I want. I got to check in with it all the time. And I'll just let you know. And then we're going to have this dialogue from my animal to your animal. And we're not going to use our manners. And we're just going to play full out. And we're going to make it super hot. And I just want to come so much for you. Can we do that? What do you think he's going to say? Where do I sign? Exactly. Where do I sign my life away? That is a whole 110%. Yes, I can do that.
Oh
right?
My God. Yes, this is so delicious. I love it. And it's such a fucking spiritual practice too, as a woman so raised with our good manners, to just let it all go and let this unleashing happen through your body. Oh, it's so freeing, so empowering.
And that first time he goes, okay, baby. Oh my God. You'll come right then. Like when a guy says that to you, when he's got you like that, that is so how we need to be gotten. It is so hot for us.
Yes.
Then we can just get turned on more and more. Like we're like, he wants to know. He wants it. He wants to do such a good job. I'm going to help him out. And then you have really good bedroom communication skills. Then there's nothing off the table. Then you're in your total natural state of connection. And it's just free flowing between you. And it just allows him to get so good and you so good together. And that's the Sexual Soulmate Pact. And you have a link for a free download from me of that excerpt from my Sexual Soulmates book. And that way you can be like, give it to your boyfriend, be like, dude, this is what we're doing. Read this. I want to practice this with you. And it's all written there exactly what to do.
Friggin' love this. Okay, so allanapratt.com/sexual soulmate pact. It's going to be below in the show notes, so you'll have it there. Who did you discover was in there? What did you discover you desired through this consistent practice of listening and honoring and communicating?
That in every moment, I want some kind of different stimulation. Like I want you to play more with my breasts. I want you to lightly stroke my nipples. I want you to suck my neck. I want you to whatever. Like it just, I want you to spank me, which I never thought I would want. But I like a little bit of like turn me over his lap and you're such a bad girl. I don't know why I like that, but I do. And when I was in my 30s, I'd have been like, that's degrading. I would never do that. I was like, super judgy. Now I just let my animal tell me what she wants and I shout it out. And my husband is like, he's not a yes. He's a Oh, yes, to everything. So,
Do you do any self-pleasuring to discover more of who is in there? Or is this all with your partner?
I have to admit, I'm not a big masturbator. Um, I always feel like if I'm horny, if I want to have orgasms, my husband's, I mean, I'm with him 24/7. We work together. And
Yeah.
so it's almost like I don't want to waste my comes on my fingers or a device. If I'm horny, I usually just have sex with my husband.
Nice.
Every once in a while, I'll whip out my vibrator and, rip off a couple of orgasms before I get up from bed or something, but I'm not
Stuck,
a not a
stuck
big
in traffic,
masturbator.
that kind of thing.
Stuck in. How about you?
I can't ejaculate on my own, only
Yeah,
with my
well,
partner.
yeah, that's hard. It's hard
I
to
don't
do.
know what that's about, but it's more of just it's like a stress release on my own, but it's like a spiritual experience with him. Which doesn't mean it's all always like la la la, but it's like it's rich and raw and beautiful when it's with him. Something about like the dynamic of energy. So how often do you guys have sex? Since like when you first, like the 10 years, you're like, okay, we need to do something, up
Yeah.
until now, does it still go up and down, or is it like always growing, or how does that work?
I would say we're so busy right now that that's our biggest issue. And so
Mm.
we tend to schedule sex.
Oh,
Like
good. Yeah.
we have a sex date this afternoon
Lovely.
before we go out to dinner with our friends.
Nice.
And it's going to be a fairly punctuated one. It'll be like our basic minimums, like make out, yoni massage, intercourse kind of thing. That's like our quickies, like hour and a half, probably.
Mm-hmm.
That's about all the time we have. I'd say we probably have lovemaking dates about twice a week. 3 times a week is good for us. I would love to have sex more, but a lot of times what we do also is we do like sensual massage, genital massage, hand jobs, things like that. Not necessarily always intercourse.
Right.
And then once, twice, or 3 times a week, we'll have intercourse. 3 times a week on vacation, twice a week on a good week, once a week typically on a busy, busy week, which is like most of our life.
Totally.
But then we'll have it for hours. We just like lock it
Block
down
off
and
the afternoon.
just
Yeah.
take our time. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
find.
Do you it's been a year since I've moved almost now to San Diego, and I'm not going to my S Factor pole dancing classes, and I really miss it. Like there's a part of my expression of my animal and the freedom that I'm really noticing a missing. Do you have practices that you specifically want to advise us upon that you think are the biggest bang for the buck for busy entrepreneur, juicy women?
Yoga, hatha, yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga is the best, and I like hatha for sexuality because it's very heavy in both breath work and asanas, and so it's a combination of moving through asanas with each one is a flow of breath and the asana.
True.
When you can find a teacher that knows breath work and asanas and hatha, that is the most sensual experience that you can have, that I have found. I also like ecstatic dance, which is a free form dance that's in most major metropolitan areas.
Yes.
So ecstatic dance can be very, very nice. Any kind of dance, hikes and walks in nature. Everyone should be walking 20 miles a week. I have an activity tracker on my phone, and I try to get out and do 3 miles a day. Just even that will keep you very embodied. And then I also think, like you talked about your black stilettos, just dressing up in lingerie and high heels, if that's a pleasure for you. Those kinds of things can be very nice, as can hot tubs and massages and things like that. Those can be good too. But I think yoga and dancing are the two most important things that we can do to continue to connect with our sensuality.
Yeah, exactly. Again, viewers and listeners, allanapratt.com/sexual-soulmate-pact, PACT. Get that right now. And in conclusion, I so respect the juicy, blossoming, orgasmic nature of your business.
Thank you.
And what is the connection between your lovemaking and the abundance that you're experiencing? Clearly, you're living your purpose and giving your gifts to humanity. I know that's a part of it as well. But what do you think is the connection with your juiciness and your juicy business?
Well, I think that your vitality, your sexual vitality, is your creativity. The better your sex, the more you feel good about yourself, the more you love your body, the more that you feel creative, empowered, grounded, loved, honored, revered, important, respected.
Yeah.
It just fuels all of your great ideation and your zest for life, your lust for life, your desire to accomplish things, how you show up in the world as a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
All of those things are supported at a fundamental level by your openness to exploring and improving your sexuality and sexual vitality.
Fist pump. Yes, totally
Boom.
agree. Boom, baby. I'm so grateful for this conversation. Thank you so much. Again, allanapratt.com/sexual-soulmate-pact. Until we have the pleasure of having you back on again, or the pleasure of seeing you at one of these events, thank you for all your delicious, vulnerable, and sexy sharing with us. Susan Bratton, we adore you. Until next time, much love.